Hello, everybody. I'm Michael Borlak, the CEO here at Capstone IT and founder of Treasure Coast Top 100. I'm here with Chet Tart. He is a radio executive, business coach, and Vistage. So he's a very busy man, and we're lucky to have him here today. So, as a business leader, we're here trying to talk to entrepreneurs and give them some really good advice, and that's what the whole point of the Treasure Coast Top 100 is. So, I'd like to dive into it. We've talked before, and one of the things you talk about is messaging. Tell us more about messaging.
Messaging, I think, is the most critical thing that any company can have out there, especially now after COVID. I think the message has to change, and I think you have to really dive deep into your customers and your clients, and also the people that work for you to understand the messaging of different businesses. I'll give you an example. I had an air conditioning company I was working with, and if you see air conditioning commercials and digital products and radio, and they're all saying, hey, for this air conditioning, we can clean your air conditioning, we can get you $500 off of this. And the air conditioning company was not allowed into certain areas because of COVID. So I said, hey, I got an idea. Here's what we're going to do. The message is going to be that we are COVID friendly. We're going to get a doctor to do a commercial. We're going to talk about all your people being trained in how to dress like doctors and things like that. We'll get COVID uniforms, and we'll be certified because they were certifying companies. So the commercial has to be, we'll answer the phone, we'll do what we need to do to protect your family, and we'll come in and clean what we need to do. And COVID, they have some kind of special light they had, and we need to market that. So that's what we hit. His business exploded after that. Well, now with COVID going away and the summer's coming here, the message changed again. And I said, we need to go find out what the friction point is for certain businesses. What is the friction point? And it's not pricing, and it's not air conditioning pieces. The message was, we answer the phone, we set a time we'll be there because that's a friction point for people, and then we fix the problem the first time because we have enough material in the truck, or we'll recommend something. This gentleman I work with, he said, I can't get away from the business. It's so good. Now that's one part of it, is the messaging. The next is, where are you marketing this and what's the frequency? So I always say marketing is two things: what you say and how many times you say it. That's it. And some people get one of them wrong.
Well, used the air conditioning as your example, but what's some, it tells entrepreneurs out there, what's some good messaging and bad messaging? We can use some examples, but just kind of overall thoughts of, so if someone's watching this video, what is it that you would tell them about messaging in a minute?
What do you stand for? That's really it. I don't know what everyone stands for. I'm going to say, if someone said the name of your company, what would you think of? When you say Coke, when you say Pepsi, when you say Nike, that has to come first in mind. The bad messages I hear is, we've been here since 1937, or we're family operated and owned, we're conveniently located. What does that mean? I don't care. I want to know that, here's very simple. I have a problem, you come along and solve it. So I'm not the hero, but as an advertiser, I come along, I'm the guide to help you solve that problem. Once the problem is solved, the second part of the message is that this is what happens. Either you can continue with the bad thing or the good thing, and that is a message. That is a great message. So here's the problem, I'm the guide. In other words, whatever your company is, you're the guide that comes along, you explain how this works, and then you take him into the future. If you continue not fixing this, here's what happens, and if you continue fixing it, here's what happens. That's a great messaging. Would you agree?
Yeah. It's like every time I order a pizza, it always says fresh. Like, I've never had anybody not put fresh on there. So I get that. It's better messaging than put fresh pizza on a pizza box.
So I have a person who has a pizza company, and I worked with him, and we changed all that messaging. And the messaging was basically, if you like to get hot pizza, I'll cook it for you. I'll personally hand it, put it together for you, and we'll make the dough ourselves. It was tonight.
Yeah.
And his business grew because it wasn't fresh and hot and delivery and all this other stuff that you hear from all the time. It was the fact that he's going to cook for you tonight.
Yeah, I love that messaging. That's an important thing. And knowing your why, I know the way in the business community talks about knowing your why and everything. That's part of it too. One of the things you talked about was the all-in commitment. This is like one of the fun things that I loved listening to talking to you about was the all-in commitment and all the stories you have. I know we can't share all of them today, but this is a short video. We're not going to do an hour-long video, but
we're not all in.
Yeah, we're not all in the 45 minutes. So, but tell us more about the all-in and what that means and how's that part of messaging.
Well, let's go back a second, because most entrepreneurs don't understand all in starts with the mindset. What are you thinking about? Where do you want to go with this? And who's going to surround you to help you? Because the messaging that you get around you could be negative also. It's your family members, it's people like that. When I say all in, I come from a different area. I come from the mindset first. What do you want to do? How committed are you to do it? Are you willing to give up everything to do it? Are you willing to put the time in? Are you willing to get the right people? Are you willing to get the right messages to people, encourage you? And then, what are you going to do about it? When I bought my first radio station, it was about being all in. And in other words, I knew what I wanted to do. I had a condo, I sold a condo, and then I had to go out and take that money and find other money to buy this radio station. So all I did was look for, I had another job, but it was done at different times. It was done at night, it was done on the weekends. So when I'm talking about all in, I'm talking about your whole vision has to be encompassing that picture, and you have to know where you're going with that picture. And you have to, don't forget, surround yourself with the people that are going to push you, because we're humans. So what happens once in a while? We give up. Once in a while, we get tired. Once in a while, we need that shot. We need that shot in the arm. Go, Chet, you can do this. I know you can do this. So you need that encouragement.
That's really important. I mean, what they always say, find look at your 5 best friends, and I can tell you all about you. I mean, that's who you become, and that's where you need to surround yourself. And yeah, I'm one of those people. I can't have negativity around me. It drags me down. So I need that positivity to keep going. So that's really important. One of those things that we got to talk about. What's that one crazy idea that you had that everybody was negative around you? They were just saying this is not the idea for you. And it went.
I think there was a ton of ideas that happened. Let me go back to buying the radio station. I was working as a senior vice president in New York City, and I was doing very well. And I noticed that people owned radio stations. I said, I should buy one. Are you crazy? I said, yes, I am. I want to buy well, you just can't buy one. I said, why not? He said, well, it's $1 million. Do you have $1 million? I said, no, but I'll be able to find one. So I was working in a group of senior VPs in New York who was very comfortable with the job, and the feedback was, oh, you can't do this. Everyone liked to do it, but I'm 29 years old. I'm going to buy a radio station. So what I did is, it has to do with being all committed in, is that I started doing my homework. I traveled around the country consulting radio stations. So I would ask questions like, tell me about the tower. How's the signal get over here? What do you have to do for rent? Who do you have to, what kind of legal stuff do you need? What kind of law firms do you need? And things like that. So everyone said it was a crazy idea. So it took about a year to raise $1 million. And I raised $1 million from an independent person who said, you'll never get money from the guy. I don't know if you ever heard of a gentleman named W. Clement Stone. No. Clement Stone was partners with a guy named Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. Yes, he was his partner, and they started a magazine called Success Magazine. And I went after people like that. So I was able to get money from the Stone family to help me buy the radio station. And I didn't know anything about legal stuff. I got a lawyer. So when people say you're crazy, that's a crazy idea, I said, great, I'm doing it.
You got to be a little bit crazy to be an entrepreneur. That's a little bit of craziness. Maybe not too much, but sometimes too much is a good thing. So I know you have a ton of stories. Love sitting and talking with you. Thank you so much for being with us. And if you'd like to learn more about Treasure Coast Top 100, you can go to www.treasurecoasttop100.com to see more videos. And if you think that you'd like to be on this, you can subscribe there as well.